In you get, Mankey. Here's your new water bottle.
Thanks.
Honestly, don't know what today's going to be about. What I do know is that so far I'm not late. Much. Now I've parked a little bit away from where I'm meeting a guy called Leif, because if I drive all the way to the car park, then firstly it's a tiny little car park, secondly it's a little bit on the expensive side, and thirdly I want some exercise. You look a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, I shaved my head.
That's my last mile transport.
Yeah?
Which is why I'm actually 5 minutes late. One of those moments where you think to yourself, should have brought the folding board. It's not as fast as this one though.
I saw a guy using one of these on YouTube and I was like, he's a filmmaker, why has he got one of these little...
Because it's quick and convenient. It's basically got the DSLR feel. You don't have the flexibility. The lens is a little bit not as wide angle as I'd like. Love the coffee from there. Right. Go find somewhere quiet to discuss YouTube, actually, funnily enough, and social media in general, because I'm a bit of a social media Luddite.
And I'm a newbie.
So don't listen to us. The reason why I went with one of those instead of a bike as my sort of last mile transport is because that thing, you just pick it up. When you're done with it, put it under your table or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to worry about somebody nicking it.
Yeah. Nobody nicks a longboard. It's not like a bike in Cambridge. Yeah.
No, well, exactly. And everyone cycles. It seems a bit boring. You can do all sorts of actual tricks with it. Pivots is basically as far as I've got with learning at the moment.
Is that where you
just pivot round 180? But I'm not doing it when there's cars around because it goes wrong like 1 out of 3 times.
get dead?
2 out of 3 times with the camera on. I feel like I'm monopolising the wheel. I stuck this in my hand luggage when I went to San Francisco. Now this is what you need for cities.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what you do is you just go...
This is so fun!
Just a brief history. I actually met Leif when I was doing the commercial drone course about, was it 15, 16 months ago now?
Yeah, yeah, about that. Yeah.
You're thinking about starting a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Is that right?
So I'm going to do stylized location videos,
Right.
So travel, lifestyle. Maybe a little bit of like me talking, but I'm debating on whether or not to do a bit of vlogging with it, because some people, they like vlog about shooting the video and then they release the video that they made.
It's so difficult to know what's going to chime and what isn't.
Yeah.
It seems to me the videos that do best are always the ones that I like the least.
Yeah, yeah. I find that with some of my posts, it's like the posts that I do on Instagram that are the best, that I think are the best, aren't the ones that do the best. It's always the ones that are just kind of post randomly and I'm just like, I just need filler.
Yeah.
And people are like, whoa, sick.
When it comes to something like YouTube, the trick is to, is to just get going with it.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to make sure that your first piece of, YouTube video is an absolute masterpiece. Because honestly, until you've got some audience, like 10 people are going to watch it and 5 of them are going to be in your family.
Yeah.
So you've literally got nothing to lose. Equally, you might find you get 10,000 views and 1,000 subscribers off that one video. And then will it matter if you thought it was rubbish?
Yeah.
I put a video up on where I drove to Scotland in my Tesla, and it was horribly edited on a tablet, shot on a phone. God, it was awful. Looks like a nice hotel. Well, that's the back of the hotel. That bit doesn't look quite as nice. But over the space of 12 months, it got 4,000 views, and I got like 42 subscribers out of it.
Wow. And the more you do, the better you get at your workflow.
Well, yeah, of course. No, now it's a totally different thing.
That's what I don't have. I don't have a workflow for YouTube, so I need to develop that.
Just make a 5-minute, 2-minute video, just a little montage of a few things that are going on, or a thought that you want to share.
Yeah.
You've got the hardware and you've got the software and you've got the skills. You're a lot closer to being able to do that reasonably than I was when I started. I can feel the rain coming. Rain. It's now chucking it down with rain.
We just made it, just in time.
Yeah. So I'm going to run Leif back to his house. I think it seems like the polite thing to do. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me about your YouTube plans. I look forward to seeing what comes of them and what you decide to create.
Me too.
Fantastic. Take care.
See you soon, man.
We'll see you soon.
Adios, YouTube.
It's now time to go get Jasper, and amazingly enough, the sun is out. See it, Mackie? Need a clean. Always catches me out how changeable British weather is. Okay.
Land Rovers.
Birds poo on Land Rovers, do they?
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense because Land Rovers are very big and inefficient. Unfortunately, they do also poo on Teslas. Not sure why. If anyone's wondering why I seem to always mention when I'm going for a run in my vlog, it's because that way I have like a kind of added incentive and motivation to actually do it. Otherwise it's all just far too easy to go, oh, not today. And somehow exercise doesn't work so well if you don't do it. Well, that certainly seems to be working. It's 4 runs in 4 days. So Jasper's gone fallen asleep on the sofa, which gives me a little bit more time than I would normally have at this point in the day. I'm going to go sort him out with some beans on toast and fish fingers for supper, I think. But before I do that, I just wanted to sort of explain a little bit. I met Leif, as I said, when I was in the drone training course, and ultimately I wanted to be a professional drone pilot. When I completed that course and I got my permissions for aerial work and all the rest of it, I started creating some YouTube videos thinking, you know, hey, it might be a good way to drive some interest and maybe get some slightly more interesting drone work. What actually happened was I kind of thought, if I decide to make YouTube my quote-unquote career or being a professional drone pilot, in both cases, it's not going to be a situation where I just go, right, here I am, and the work and the money and everything else just comes flooding in. Whichever route I take, it's going to be a slow burn at the beginning where you've got to kind of get yourself going. So I kind of figured I had a bit of a choice. I could do one or the other. Probably not both because there wouldn't be enough time in the day. The reason why I decided to go down the YouTube route was because I very much got the impression from the drone course that it was going to be 85% planning and paperwork and, you know, marketing and the rest of all the sort of normal business activities, and maybe 15% flying, of which 2% would be creative. That's the reason why I thought, you know what, I quite like YouTube, because it gives me the opportunity to be a bit creative, try and do things a little bit differently, see what works, see what doesn't work. And I have learned a humongous amount about video editing and filming and all sorts of things over the last 15 months, I guess it is now, more or less. I kind of got the impression from Leif, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, that he'd sort of found a similar thing in that the drone side of things had been a bit slow to get going. One of the problems with drone work, especially if you've gone and done the course and you're trying to do it properly, is there are loads and loads of people out there that have not done the course and have not done it properly, and they just go off and get quite a lot of the lower sort of work, if you know what I mean. Even though they're like totally unqualified and probably not, well, they can't be insured properly, but it makes no difference because they can just ping the drone up, do the work, leave, the customer's happy, the drone pilot's happy because he's not had to fork out for an expensive course or done any planning or anything like that. So they can do many more jobs significantly cheaper. If you're going to be at the top end of drone work, then yes, absolutely, it makes sense to have your permissions for aerial work. They'll be required, but you'll do interesting work that's well paid. So that's the reason why I went for YouTube over drones. And now I'm going to make Jasper his dinner. And I'm going to say good night for the day. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it and share it and subscribe if you haven't already. And follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. Make YouTube videos one day.
Yes, on my tablet now because I don't have a camera still.
What kind of videos are you going to make?
Oh, the one that I almost fell in the river. Actual one.
Stunt videos.
That I am.